Hi everyone, sorry I'm a little bit late again to my Facebook Live. Once again, my son woke up just at the wrong time, but he's safely back to sleep now and hopefully will stay asleep for the rest of this live. So this is the final of my 7-day Facebook Live videos on um, the fourth trimester and maternal mental health. So hopefully you've caught up on some of the other lives. If not, they're on my Facebook page under videos. In the first one, I introduced the fourth trimester and talked a little bit about what it is and how to recognize signs that your baby is still in the fourth trimester and why I think it's important to know about it. On the second day, I talked about how you can help your baby in the fourth trimester. So it can often be quite frustrating when you feel like you just don't know why your baby is crying or how you can help them. So I covered that on the second day. In the third video, I talked about how making sure that you take the time in the fourth trimester to really honor it really helps mothers too. So, covering things like breastfeeding, bonding, and nourishing yourself during that fourth trimester. Next, in the fourth video, I talked about common concerns from parents in the fourth trimester and just kind of addressing why your baby might be behaving in certain ways and how to overcome that frustration. The fifth video was really going into much more about the maternal mental health side of this series. So why the fourth trimester is particularly fragile for mums. Yesterday, I talked about how to get help if you suspect you have postnatal depression. There's lots of resources out there. There are a lot of health professionals out there who can help you. So if you suspect that you have postnatal depression or you're just not sure, talk to someone like your GP, but go back and listen to that video because I give you lots and lots of other resources as well. But today's Facebook Live, the final one, is covering my role. So what nutrition can do to help during this fourth trimester and this really fragile time, especially when it comes to mental health. So I've mentioned this before, but mothers are particularly vulnerable during the fourth trimester because of depletion in nutrients throughout pregnancy, through childbirth, while breastfeeding, and also because of lack of sleep, anxiety about looking after a newborn. And on top of all of that, most of us, it's reckoned that most of us in the West are actually depleted in many nutrients anyway that support good mental health and good healing and recovery, which is obviously extremely important for new mums. So, on top of all of these different processes that our body goes through to actually have the baby, we are going into it potentially a little bit depleted. So that's why I feel nutrition and focusing on nutrition, preferably before you conceive, but surely throughout pregnancy and after giving birth, and obviously for life too, because good nutrition is good for your health in many, many ways. So the number one thing that I tend to address when I see new mums or pregnant mums or mums who come to me before they're pregnant and their partners too, is we talk about blood sugars and blood sugar dysregulation. So the key takeaway here is if you have steady blood sugars, you have steady energy levels. And steady blood sugar levels also support your response to hormonal change. And if you listen to the video or watch the video a couple of days ago, I talked about how huge that hormonal change can be after you've given birth and in the first week or so afterwards. Low blood sugars can also interfere with breast milk production due to the release of stress hormones. And it also if you have low blood sugars, it uses up energy that would be best saved for giving birth and breastfeeding, of course, which are both extremely energy hungry processes. So signs that you might have blood sugar imbalance, and I would really love to know, hands up if this is you. So grumpy, especially around meal times, particularly if it's maybe a little bit delayed. Mood swings, maybe feeling slightly irrational. Irritable, maybe having cravings, and then slightly more seriously, if you experience dizziness, palpitations, or sweating. If you have those last 3 symptoms, please go see your GP, because these are much more serious signs of a blood sugar imbalance. So I experienced many of these a lot. I did during pregnancy, and I did immediately after giving birth, and I still occasionally do, especially mood swings. So clearly these signs that I've just described, they also occur naturally in pregnancy and after giving birth, you know, because there's not enough sleep, and we have this huge hormonal change that just precipitates this irritability, mood swings, grumpiness. So if you, on top of that, on top of these other factors that are causing you to behave perhaps not like yourself, having really high and low blood sugars, you know, a real roller coaster of blood sugars, can exacerbate this issue. So my approach is always to address blood sugars, get them in check, teach people how to build a plate that will keep their energy sustained, keep them full, and keep them energy steady and mood steady as well. They really go hand in hand. And then otherwise, in terms of specific nutrients that can affect mental health, that pregnant women or women who have just given birth are particularly vulnerable to. So iron is commonly quite low during pregnancy, but also after giving birth because of blood loss in childbirth. So again, you know, all of those symptoms that I mentioned can be a sign of that. Low vitamin D. Now, at this time of year, you are no longer able to manufacture vitamin D from the sun, whatever sun we might have. We haven't had sun, I think, for about 10 days. There is research showing that there is a higher incidence of postnatal depression in mothers who give birth during the winter months. So essentially really from December onwards until the sun is high enough again that we can manufacture vitamin D from the sun. So it's a really big, long period where you could be at a higher risk of postnatal depression. Now, vitamin D is used up by baby during pregnancy, and also most of us are deficient going into pregnancy anyway in the UK. And commonly vitamin D is one of those supplements that is recommended for all women during pregnancy and after they've given birth as well. Another nutrient that I often look at to see if that is a concern is zinc. Low zinc can cause hormonal imbalances, loss of appetite, mood swings. Again, notice these are signs that you might get during pregnancy and after giving birth and adjusting to life as a new mum anyway. So you can see how this is all so tied up with each other. And then finally, omega-3. So this is an essential fat that we need to have in quite good stores when we're pregnant, but also for breastfeeding, because baby accumulates all of their omega-3 needs during the 3rd trimester, and then also through breast milk. And this comes at the cost of mum's stores of omega-3, which is often her brain. So that is your greatest concentration of good omega-3 fats. So you can imagine if that is coming from your brain, then you know that could have knock-on effects on mental health. Omega-3 is really vital for nerve health, for cell communication, and these are really key for good mental health. There are many more nutrients that I look at when I work with new clients or you know, current clients ongoing. But those are the real key ones that I wanted to kind of pick out, because they are they're really key, and very commonly I find that women can be quite low in many of these. So the way I work, if you're interested in seeing how I can help, if you'd like to know how you're doing nutritionally, whether your diet needs some help, whether you might need some supplements, or to check what supplements you're on, Or if you're experiencing any of those issues and you really want some help on blood sugar balancing, for example, and how to make the most of your fourth trimester and make sure that it's a healthy one for you and your baby. The way I work is I always start with a free phone call to have a chat about where you are right now, to know what your goals are and to see whether we can work together. And then after that, we can take it from there. So I'm going to pop the link to book a call with me down in the comments section here. So if that is something you'd like to do, you can just follow that link. Otherwise, I really hope this week of Facebook Lives has been really, really useful to you. I'd love to know what was your biggest takeaway from this talk, either today or for the whole 7 days, and hope to see you on the next time I do some Facebook Lives. Take care. Bye.